Much like the Talon versus Overwatch battle going on right now, in-game, there's also a battle between fans and even countries. That may sound trivial on the face of it, but I think whichever side wins out gets to decide how heroes are designed in Overwatch in the future, which is more important now than ever since we're getting so many new heroes over the next 12 months, as well as the 5 that just dropped. So it's important to know that Overwatch is doing pretty well right now. I've been playing Overwatch since before I was an unk, and I am older than I look. Please don't try and guess my age in the comments, my ego might not be able to take it. But I am more excited now than I have been for a very long time. And it's not just because 5 new heroes dropped and more people are talking about it and playing it right now. It's because Blizzard have kind of, they've not publicly said anything, but it feels like they're acknowledging that they could have been doing better the past couple of years, and now they're actually gonna try. And if this game can recapture some of the magic it had, even just a little bit of magic from its Overwatch 1 days, then we're in for a good time. And we'll have to wait and see how it actually plays out, whether the popularity continues, but right now, it's doing pretty well. It's just the Steam charts we have to go off, and obviously I don't think most people play it on Steam, but just look at this jump here. In fact, if I click all, you can just see how crazy the spike looks at the end here. More people are playing Overwatch right now than they have done for years. And it should be said, this isn't a new game. It's a rebrand, sure, but it's not like they dropped Overwatch 3. In fact, playing it, and I've played a fair bit, I've done my ranked games at least, the game doesn't feel any different than it did last week. It's just an UI interface change and the new heroes. But that's the game modes I play. You may play different game modes. It might be very different for you. But yeah, it's nice to see these numbers. But it's the 5 new heroes released that has spiked the current controversy going around. Specifically the hero Anran and her face controversy. This is the character here. There's her face. And you may be thinking, looks like a normal face to me. What's wrong? Well, this is what she originally looked like a few months ago in a cinematic short they released. She looks a bit more unique. Here's her game model and the short model side by side. You can see from the lips to the eyes to especially the nose to the eyebrows, they definitely look like 2 different people. And this goes far beyond just like animation style. For whatever reason, they decided to make her look like this in a short, and then in game look like this. Now, the big arguments I've seen are this side not as conventionally attractive, this side more conventionally attractive, this side sell more skins, So that's kind of kicked up some uproar. Getting to the point where the voice actor herself has jumped in to complain and kind of say she's not too happy with how this has turned out.
I got to mourn Anran between the design I had hoped for her and the design we ended up with. Because I think in her comic and the cinematic Elemental Kin, there was a precedent set by it. There was a unspoken promise that said, we're going to challenge the beauty standards plaguing and ransacking media these days, right? The Ozempic chic, the contour your nose, you have no nose, the tiniest nose. And I think because of that precedence, people feel understandably let down.
And especially with Overwatch, Overwatch has been challenging those beauty standards for 10 years. In Overwatch 1, original Overwatch 1, it seemed like every new character was not something that would be conventionally good looking. They were attractive in their own right, but they showcased different body types, different face shapes, different styles. And I have to admit, recently, we've been getting a lot of the same kind of models. So this has led to huge pushback online with people tweeting stuff like, not my Anran. And I think this showcases it pretty perfectly. These are different noses on these 2 people. And, this has sparked kind of that ongoing culture war between beauty standards and what people want in video games. For me, the point here is that the unspoken promise that's being thrown around here, which you could argue is quite silly because an unspoken promise isn't anything, but the idea was, since I played Overwatch 10 years ago, we get very diverse character silhouettes and shapes and people and characters. And they obviously thought about going that route with this character. That's why we have the comics and the cinematics. And then they at some point decided to go the other route. And I personally don't like that. Mostly because it's boring. And here's a great example of it. This is Kiriko's face and Yuno's face, 2 other characters that came out relatively recently, at least in the grand scheme of Overwatch. And they're overlaid onto Anran's face. and they all look the same. So at the very least for me, it's just a little boring and bland, and it gives off laziness from Blizzard. Do I want more heroes? Yes. Do I want the same hero face over and over again? No, not really. The good news is the game director came out pretty fast saying that they're going to try and change it.
The team is currently discussing what it will take to make Anran look and feel more like the fierce older sister that we all envision her to be. We're so proud of the work that our team has put into Anran and the rest of the 5 heroes launching in Season 1, and we agree that she can be even better if we get this aspect of her right.
Anran, I think I'm saying her name wrong. She's still new to me, I apologize. It feels like most people are getting behind this. Like, certainly my echo chambers are pointing to decisions change. Good, change it back. And the fact that Overwatch is like doing it fast as well. Let's say they're going to try and make the changes within the next season, so in the next couple of months. And they have said that like the character models they have are very complicated. It's not easy to do, so they're going to try and figure it out. They're not sure what they're going to do yet, but they're going to try and do something. I think it's fantastic. And you can see here, W change, W communication. Thank you for hearing us out from the voice actor herself. Then you've got someone, I think, saying that they planned it all for publicity. Conspiracy tinfoil hat moment. And then there is, still a lot of hate in here, which is just always going to happen. This is Twitter. But it's not just the trolls that seem to have an issue with this. There has been pushback from Overwatch China, who say that the Chinese player base cherish Anran's current look. Now, this is all a bit weird to me. I'm not fully caught up on exactly why Overwatch China is different from Overwatch rest of world. I know China has their own things in place, and I believe, looking into this briefly, NetEase owns the distribution rights or something for Overwatch in China. So like Overwatch China is fundamentally, it controls what, comes through the gates and what they can play over there. And Anran being Chinese makes this a little bit touchy. They say, we've always felt proud of the addition of another Chinese hero, Anran, and have deeply appreciated the love and sincere feedback from the Chinese player community since her debut. We understand the aesthetic preferences are rooted in different cultural backgrounds and personal perceptions. We have consistently communicated to the Blizzard team that Chinese players recognize and cherish Anran's current image, and we will continue to ensure that these voices are fully heard in all subsequent discussions. So if you believe Overwatch China, China's not happy about them changing the current model. Now, I cannot stress enough, for me, this isn't about traditional beauty standards, though I do like the idea of challenging them. I do like the idea of more diverse heroes. But for me, the biggest thing really is that getting characters with the exact same face models over and over again is boring and lazy. And I would hope Blizzard are going out their way to be as ambitious and exciting about their heroes as possible and making them as unique as possible. Now, another twist here is that people have been noticing that the heroes have been getting more attractive recently. And Blizzard have said that its sexier heroes are more down to technical hurdles than a desire to make everyone hot. A senior producer, Kenny Hudson, says something that we kind of look into when we're doing our heroes is how we can make them unique, but still give them a good platform proportionally. Height, scale, proportion, to not only build cosmetics for them and future-proof things, but to stop the technical hurdles of other things. So one of the things that really helps with that is if you give longer limbs, taller legs, a bigger core, it all actually makes it easier for our artists to physically put new geometry on those models. And so that's how it kind of turns out, which I personally find a little bit silly. It's fundamentally saying it's easier for us to make skins if we make all the heroes kind of similar. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. It would be a lot easier if you did a bunch of other stuff as well, but it's about making good heroes, not about making heroes easily. It also doesn't address the core issue people have, which is the same face syndrome. But I do think this is an incredibly important discussion to have because it's going to affect how they make heroes in the future. Let me know if you're happy with the current hero designs. And it should be said that, they released their flying cat in a jetpack. So they're certainly not going all in with the same old every single time. And I do like getting more heroes more often. So if that means getting similar shapes, I guess. I don't know, I'd have to think about the payoff there. For one, I'm just so happy that like Overwatch is so popular again. It's made me excited to make videos about Overwatch again. If you like this, please like the video, please subscribe. The vibes I'm getting about this new release is less, oh, we're Overwatch 2, but we're dropping the 2, and more, oh, we're Overwatch 3 now. We're a brand new game, and I'm super excited to see where they go in the future, especially with the story stuff. I've always said the story, I've not always said it, but I'm saying it now, the story in Overwatch is the game's soul. It's the heart of the whole thing, so keep that coming and keep that interesting, and like, I'm not sure Overwatch will ever die. Well, yeah, thank you for watching.